Hi guys, I'm Karunya Rao. With me is Manisha Gupta, and if you're wondering why I'm using my phone as I speak to you, is because she sent me a very complicated looking PDF. It's in Hindi. It's a government it's a government release document. Please tell me what it means. I can't go through it.
All right. So you know what, Karuna, we've been noticing on how government has been trying various ways to control food inflation. And we have seen nearly 8 commodities banned in agriculture space on the commodity derivative market. So you have no reference point if you don't see them going up and down. You don't know really how much they're going up or down. So that was one of the things. But apart from that, the government also has lowered import duties. Government also has been releasing buffer. Government also has put stock limits on many of these commodities on how much as a retailer can you hold, as a wholesaler or an institute or a crushing mill can hold. So what we have seen, especially in case of edible oil, that PDF that you're talking about says that what was going to expire in the month of June now has been extended until December 2022. Okay. So when it comes to edible oil seeds and edible oils itself, that stock limit has been extended now. So all these companies, wholesalers, etc., will have to. There's also a website link given on this PDF where you have to uplink on how much holding do you have on that particular day or week or month. So what the government also has done, perhaps, which is positive as the markets is reading it, that earlier when it came to stock limit, it was about how much stock are you storing, the storage. But now it has moved to production. So that is something that the street really seems to be rejoicing. They like the fact that what they're producing is what has to be curbed, not what they're storing. Because when you are importing and when you have oil seeds and when you crush it and make it into oil and then you have to produce a stock limit on it, it's a whole chain that gets disturbed. So now it's not storage, it's the production that you have to put a stock limit on, and that is something that street likes, even as it has been extended up to December 2022.
So this essentially is a step where the government is trying to figure out how much stock is in the system for edible oil,
so that you're not hoarding it, because the reason the prices are rising, so when the prices are rising and it's not coming, because we know sunflower is not coming, we know international markets, there are problems at Argentina and South Africa and various other producing countries as well. So you know that a lot of farmers, traders, stockists will hold their produce and their production and wait for the higher prices and then sell in the market. So with this step, government ensures that there is no profiteering, there is no hoarding, and the supply chain is moving easy.
Right. So they're trying to oil the supply chain.
Oh, yes.
But tell me one thing, when you say edible oil, does it entail sunflower, palm oil, coconut oil, maybe
various oils. So what we are talking about is refined palm oil at this point in time. That is what the government
is. So then that's good news for companies as well who use palm oil as raw material?
It is definitely good news for consumers to begin with, because at the higher side of the prices, when they were at their peak, you were paying 230 to 40 rupees per litre as well. That has come down to 180, 190 now. So as a consumer as well, I'm not paying those peak prices. Government has ensured that we are looking at lower retail prices. For the farmer, it's a good news because it's trading above MSPs and the prices will continue to stay elevated. For the overall supply chain, also it is nice because the supply chain, as you said, is well oiled right now. So it actually works in favor of all, and the industry does not mind this.
So how long will it take for the benefit to actually realize the benefits of the initiative that the government is trying to roll out?
So the industry, what they do not like is these sudden knee-jerk reactions and the fact that the government interference is too high. What they do like right now is that this was expected to expire in June and now it's until December. So they understand, they know that they have the full year and this is how the mechanism is going to work. When you are told tonight, starting today, import duty is curbed, you can't buy certain things like that. That is when they get jittery. That is when the exporters also get jittery. But when you have a long-term solution and an impact, it's easier for everybody around. And yes, we have seen an impact of that on the edible oils as well. So we are looking at some decent prices. Clearly, the sunflower issue is far from getting resolved. We still are looking at higher prices. There are tariffs that Indonesia, Malaysia are also looking at. So those concerns remain, but we are way off peaks right now.
So last week, I remember we were looking at one of those e-commerce portals where 1 litre of edible oil, sunflower oil, was what? 300 odd
That's
rupees.
Right.
So what kind of a easing are we expecting in the next few months?
Well,
is it meaningful?
If you're looking at those levels of 240 and 280 and 300, and if we are trading anywhere between 180 to 210, 220 right now, I think we have come off considerably. Market does not expect too much of a correction from here. They're looking at the fact that if the resolution between Russia and Ukraine happens, which the markets don't think will happen too easily, and if the mustard crop is really good, which it is good, but it's not coming very fast into the markets, if something like that happens, then a 5 to 8% of a correction, yes. But anything below that, anything more than that on the lower side is not...
Why is that? that when the price increases, we immediately feel the heat. But when it goes down, the pass-through is so weak and so, slack. There's so much, you feel like it's coming with a very long delay.
It is, but blame it also on the containerization, on the freight rates, on the transportation, on the input costs, fertilizers. There's no end to that.
But पैसे तो बढ़ा दिए. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this discussion. Clearly, we're still looking at from moderate to high edible oil prices. There could be some easing, like she pointed out, but let's see to what extent and by when. But for now, some good news coming in for edible oil consumers, producers, and the entire ecosystem. Thank you so much for tuning in.